Hello, Carl here with Sustainability Theory News. I'm over at hobbyfarms.com and they have an article, 11 Ways That Anyone Can Start in Agriculture. They have some really good basic ideas for people who want to start small, building either a homestead-based business or maybe you're in an apartment and you don't have a backyard. They got some decent ideas for you there as well. Beekeeping. Now, you don't make a whole ton of money off the honey, but it can be useful for other farmers or gardeners who have, say, an apple orchard and they don't have, or, a small little apple grove and they need help pollinating when the trees are in bloom. You could rent out your bees for a little bit of time. Maybe it's grain farmers or other farmers. They all can benefit from having more bees. Microgreens. Now, if you're selling microgreens, a lot of areas around the world consider them high-risk crops. So you're going to have to take very careful measures to keep track of your sanitation methods, all your cleaning schedules, your planting schedules, and have everything in a Google Doc spreadsheet, a clipboard, something that's very well organized in case you're ever inspected. Now, plant starts. Also, a lot of states and countries require you to have a nursery license to do plant starts, but usually they do it for small scale ones. Like I live in Michigan, and they allow you to do it per acre. So if you just have a 1 acre yard, you can get that whole yard certified to be a nursery. Not just do plant starts, but also year-old or 5-year-old fruit trees that you may start from seed or do some grafting or cloning. Greens and small vegetables. That might be perhaps the easiest method. And urban farmer Curtis Stone has a great YouTube page. If you want to do market gardening, check out his YouTube page for sure. Mushrooms. It's a very delicate process and it can take some time, but you can do it either outdoors in wood chip piles, hay piles for like the wine cap mushrooms. You can create different types of almost any organic material. People use rice hulls, spent grain from breweries. A lot of them will support at least 1 or 2 different varieties of mushrooms. You just have to make sure you sterilize it, inoculate it, let it do its mycelium run, and then put it into a type of fruiting chamber at high humidity. Quail eggs. Quails are very small birds. They don't require a lot of feed, but the eggs are very tasty and can sell for a premium. Aquaponics is when you raise fish and plants together. Now, if you want to try and sell fish that you raise yourself, usually it requires several different permits. But honestly, in aquaponics, your profit isn't in the fish. You can sell the fish and it might pay for the feed you bought to feed the fish. The real profit is in the greens. The greens use the fish waste as free fertilizer. The plants clean the water for the fish, and the fish provide food for the plants. And nice leafy greens work very well in aquaponic systems, and they are some of the most profitable crops you can grow. Rabbits. Now they're prodigious breeders. They breed like crazy. The old saying, they breed like rabbits, and they can have like 15 rabbits per litter. Their waste, too, is a very, very good compost that won't burn almost any crops. It's really beneficial. And you can sell them as pets or as meat. Maybe you can sell a whole bunch of them to, say, a dog food manufacturer. Now, what you can do in a basement is, say you don't have a yard or whatnot, you can do mushrooms, but, they're going to put out a lot of spores. So you got to make sure it's a nice sealed room with some HEPA filters. You should wear a mask with a good HEPA filtration system on it. That way you don't get your lungs inoculated with all sorts of fungal mycelium. Hydroponics. If you are going to grow indoors, they have 2 different types of lighting, basically. The high intensity lighting, which you can see on street poles outside in parking lots, and LEDs. LED growing technology, from my research, it's still somewhat in its early stages. It's great for leafy greens, but if you're trying to produce heavy fruits like tomatoes or big vegetables like a squash, they're not as productive as the high intensity discharge lights are. And worms and worm castings, you can feed them food scraps or whatnot. A lot of people prefer to compost the food scraps down a little bit and then feed that compost to the worms. The worm castings, though, they're a great fertilizer. Much like the rabbit fertilizer, it is great for all sorts of plants, and it doesn't burn seedlings, and it's great for big, tall trees as well. I'm going to link to this article in the description if you want to read more about it, and if you'd like to see more news headlines like this, subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.